Welcome back to the channel. So when it came to putting a clutch in bad decision here with the Godzilla swap, I agonized over it intensely. My main concern here was that there wasn't going to be enough room really for the cable controls for a standard type Mustang clutch. So finally, I decided we're going to have to go with a hydraulic clutch. Now there are a bunch of options for converting a Foxbody Mustang to a hydraulic clutch for sure. Most of them involve putting a master cylinder on the firewall here. And that is just as bad a problem, or maybe worse, than the cable problem. So what I finally decided to do was get one of these clutch systems that puts the master cylinder right on the pedal under the dash. Comes from Malwood USA. It has finally arrived. Basically what you got here is you got a pedal, you got a master cylinder, some bracketry, a couple bushings, and you can just convert your existing manual transmission pedal box to a clutch setup with this. It bolts right in, supposedly. You've heard that before. It comes with everything you need under the dash, and it comes with dash 3 AN clutch line and a reservoir. So there's a little reservoir. Now the advantage of using a system like this is that you're going to be able to run a clutch line like this with a lot more freedom than you'd be able to run a cable. About the only thing we're going to have to worry about mounting on the firewall is this. I'm not quite sure where we're going to put it, but we'll get a look at it and see what needs to be done. Now they say this system is a direct bolt-in, that you don't even have to pull the pedal box out of the car in order to do it. I have the dash out, which does make working on stuff under there a little bit easier. I guess we'll see how easy it is. Also, if your car was originally an automatic transmission car, they make another version of this same setup, which includes the shaft and whatnot to go through the pedal box for the clutch. So if you're doing a conversion from an automatic to a manual, and you want to do hydraulic clutch conversion at the same time, this is probably a pretty good way to go. Foxbody Mustang is about the newest car these guys make anything for, but for any of you guys who are doing classic projects, they have a whole lineup of these clutch conversion systems with an underdash master cylinder for use in, yeah, you name it. The array of classics that they support is incredible. Of course, all the classic Mustangs, but I mean, almost anything guys are building, you can convert with a ready-made hydraulic pedal conversion like this. In order to do this pedal job, we took the seat out. It's probably your only smart play, and it's easy to do. It's just 2 bolts and 2 nuts. It comes right out. We've already got the dash out of the car. That's probably a better time to do this when the dash is out. They say that you can do this job without removing the pedal box. We're going to find out if that's true or not. Here's a bit of an overview. I'm going to let Brent work on the pedal part here while I work on mounting the reservoir. But first things first, you got to get this pedal position switch off. That's our clutch position switch. That's going to involve pulling this little pin and taking this little bolt out, pulling this out of the way so that you don't break this shaft. Then you're going to undo this bolt on the pedal, and the whole pedal assembly should come off. Now, the part that I'm the most skeptical about here is the part where you pull the shaft through. So you're supposed to pull the pedal shaft through and out in order to put a new bushing on it. I've already removed the quadrant from here. I had an aftermarket quadrant and I already took it out. You're going to have to take your quadrant out. If it's a plastic one, it's kind of a pain, especially from underneath, but it can be done. Sometimes you break the parts. If it's an aluminum one, it's still a bit of a pain, but it can all be done. So we're going to have to pull this shaft out. Maybe it'll come through this hole. Maybe that's what that hole is for. And then change bushings. Put that back in. We're going to bolt up the bracket, I think, to that bolt down there, or stud down there. And there's a little hole through here that we have to bolt that pedal bracket onto as well. That's probably one of the hardest parts of this job. And there's a spring that's got to go on there. So that's roughly the job. I'm going to turn this over to Brent, and I'm going to start working on the reservoir.
Right about now, Matthew, I'm happy the dash isn't in there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier with the dash out. So like if you're going to do this and you got the car all torn apart like this is the time to do it. Don't put it all back together and go, oh, you know, I should switch to a hydraulic clutch.
But I do have to ask, how did I get stuck with this job?
How are you making out? Got the pedal off, eh?
Uh-huh.
You got that off without taking the sensor off?
I loosened the sensor, but I didn't have to take it all the way off.
Okay.
I loosened it enough that I could pull it off without bending anything.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So there's really no way to get this shaft out of here without dropping the whole pedal box. The new bushings are the same bushings as these ones that are in here, and there's nothing the matter with this bushing. So rather than stand on our head, we're just going to reuse that bushing on the outboard side. And frankly, I don't know where the new one went, where the old one went. This is an old one, this is a new one. These are the same thing, basically identical thing. So I don't know, I guess we can install a new one on the driver's side where the pedal actually is, but there's nothing the matter with this bushing either. So
Yeah, it's in good shape still. Both of them are. So
I'm guessing they include these bushings so that when your bushings are screwed in there, you got something new.
sometimes stuff like that does get brittle and break and stuff. So I can see why they might want to give them to you, but the only way we're going to be able to do this is to drop the whole pedal quadrant down. So if they were bad, yeah, okay, let's do that. But ours are good, so that's a lot of extra work for very little gain.
Yeah, I would say there is no way we can get the pedal shaft out of there with it in the car, and it's not necessary. Okay, so Brent is going to do a test fit on a loose pedal box out on the floor, just mainly for you guys so you can see what to do here. So, I mean, first you're going to pull that.
We pulled this pin, yeah.
Pull that pin out.
We're going to set that aside in a baggie.
Then you got to back this off.
This is a 9mm. We back that off, and that gives you enough room if you back it off enough that you can slide this off. If not, you're going to have to take this all the way off and then move that out of the way.
Yeah, these pieces are brittle. Brent's
Yeah.
giving me a heart attack getting that out without actually removing
Well,
it.
the one in the car came out really easy just by backing it off a bit. So
It did,
maybe it's this one didn't, which is very weird. Okay, and this is an 18mm. Pull that off.
Yep. Then the pedal just comes
And then
off.
the pedal will just pop right off like that. Now you're going to want to get this bushing out of here, and this is going to be the tricky part. What I did is I pushed some pressure, on this other end and worked the shaft back and forth a little bit. Because when they get, and then you can see when you do that, it starts popping out.
I wonder what the state of the bushing is on this thing.
It looks pretty good too, but they do get a little sticky. Well, this one's a lot tougher than the one in the car.
I don't think you need to worry too much about the bushing,
Well,
except for on this side,
the spring goes on
The spring
here.
has got to go over it, and as you can see, the spring inside diameter is smaller than the bushing diameter.
Yeah, and that's why we gotta get this. Oh man, that is a tight bushing on this one. Well, I'll tell you what, let's pause. I'll get this bushing out. You get the idea, and then we'll pick it back up.
Okay, Brent actually used a hammer on there in order to get it out. And you know, the truth is, these bushings are coming out looking just fine.
Yeah, In both they did this pedal assembly and the one that's on the car.
So don't kid yourself. You're not going to get that shaft out the other side with the pedal box in the car.
No.
So if you want to take the shaft out and change that bushing, if your bushing's wrecked on the other side, that's what you're going to have to do. Otherwise, leave the stock bushing on the other side.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to take this nut off at the very least when you do it in the car.
This is where the brake booster studs come through. There's one on either side here, and there's a nut there which you'll have to take off, and that is going to attach to
Right here.
right there. Okay, so
We are now ready.
you slide the spring over, then you got to put the bushing on. Now maybe we won't for the purpose of this test fit, but if you do this, the next step is put the bushing on.
Yeah, so your bushing is going to sit on here, get you back all centered up. But because this is so tight, we don't want to be playing with that right now.
Yep.
So we're going to leave that out just for this demonstration to show you how things go together.
Right. So this little piece here lines up with that hole, and there's a bolt that goes through that hole to bolt the bracket up here.
This is our bolt here.
Right.
And not on the back side.
Now Malwood's instructions actually show a bolt going in from the other side and the bracket being threaded. Obviously, they discovered that that's virtually impossible to do in the Foxbody, so they've done it this way. And you have to get a nut on the other side. I'm sure it's no sweetheart in the car.
Might be able to do it, but I don't think I want to play with that.
I'm sure just putting the nut on is no sweetheart of a job.
No, I don't imagine so.
On the other side.
And then this spring is going to be trapped. We're going to have a little more pressure on that. So we recommend putting the spring in like this, and then you can use the pressure and hook it in the hole.
Right.
Now, doing it on here is easy. We'll see what happens when we do this in the car.
Yeah, I bet you having no dash is a huge advantage for
Yeah.
this.
But this is how it goes together, and then your stud will go through here and put your nut on there, and that's essentially how it goes on.
Yeah.
Pretty
so I would bet the hardest part is getting this bolt done up, and that's about it.
Yeah, but this gives you a nice view of it outside of the car, so you have an understanding of how this is all going together.
Frankly, since you don't have to change the bushing on the other side, I don't think you need to take the quadrant off either. You could just leave that in there, because taking the quadrant out in one of these cars
It's a job.
isn't exactly all that much fun when you're laying under the dash.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to trying to mount the reservoir.
And I'm going to get this back together, how it should be, and then go put this under that dash.
Okay, I think the general idea is to put this clutch reservoir here. And my idea is to use 1/4-inch riv nuts in the inner fender for that. Even with a right angle drill like this, I think we're going to have to pull the wiper motor in order to drill those holes. Okay, we got to get this wiper motor out of here. It's just 3 screws in there, but then there's a special clip on the inside here which we need to release in order to get that off. If I remember right, the way you release it is you pry up on this and then slide it. Yeah, that's right. You just pry up on that little tab and slide off. And then our linkage arm should pop off of there. Like that. Then we can pull this wiper motor away. And we don't even have to disconnect it. We can just put it off to the side. And that should allow us to get our drill in there. While we're in the middle of all this, we're going to see if there's any way to get a little bit more clearance with this brake booster. So Brent's got everything loosened off in there. Wow. They're all loosened? Maybe it's not going to move at all. Brent's merrily under the dash trying to get the pedal mounted, and I have taken the cowl off, disconnected the wiper motor and got it out of the way so that we can get at this little spot here on the inner fender where we're going to install a couple of riv nuts. What we want to do here is get this installed something about like that. Better not to go across this lip. I think we'll try and get it right in the corner here if we can. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these with a Sharpie, and then we're going to check our drill on those Sharpie marks to make sure it's something we can drill. Can't even get the Sharpie in. There's a good chance we're not going to get the drill bit in either, hey? Maybe it's going to have to be further forward. Okay, so I put these two Sharpie marks on. That's approximately where these holes are going to be. But when we do this for real, we're going to do it one at a time. So let's start out with the inner one. I'm going to put a mark on with this tool. Let's do that. And then we'll drill that one, install the riv nut. And then we'll do the other one after we've put the riv nut in here so that we get it in the right place for sure. This is the kind of shit where I'll go home and my wife will ask, what did you do today? And I go, I drilled 2 holes. Now this car doesn't have cruise control, but there is cruise control stuff that's on the other side of these inner fenders. So we're just going to try to be a little bit modest about how we handle this. I have the air pressure turned down on this air drill. Start with a pilot hole. Then we'll move on to the real hole. We'll put one riv nut in, attach it, mark the other side, and then repeat. If you think you're going to skip the pilot hole part of this, you are kidding yourself, because you're going to have this thing skipping all over in here. This is a riv nut. That has got a threaded, 1/4 inch threaded end in there, and it works kind of like a rivet. We're going to stick it in that hole, and then we're going to use this tool, which is a combination riveting and riv nut tool, to compress it. It'll expand in the hole and it should form a little flange in behind the hole when it's done. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to slide that in tight. Press that as tight as you can. Back it off. Unthread it. And there we have a nice little 1/4 inch fitting to attach our reservoir to. Probably the best way to run this reservoir line is from the reservoir here down through that electrical grommet there into the cab. And finally, I did use little button heads on here, which makes it a little easier to get a tool in there. That's the completed install of the Malwood clutch pedal kit. Does it install in half an hour? No. Does it install without taking out the pedal box? As long as your passenger side bushing is fine, the answer to that is yes. I think it's a great way to put a hydraulic clutch in one of these cars. You don't have any mess on your firewall. You can put your reservoir right here out of the way. You can run your line down through that steering grommet to the clutch, and that should be basically out of the way. It's as out of the way as anything gets here, and certainly a lot more out of the way than a cable is on a car that we already have header fitment problems on. If you feel the need to convert to a hydraulic clutch for a reason like this, or any other reason, just because you want to maybe modernize the car or whatever, I think this is a great way to go. And if you have, a classic Mustang or almost any classic car that you might be building with a clutch in it, they make a kit for that. If you like this kind of content, give me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. That really does help. Press the hype button if it appears on your platform. I'm going to put a few videos up around my head that YouTube think you will like. See you next time.